Was Berhalter's job saved by an own goal? So let's talk about that lucky performance from the United States men's team as they escape with a win over Jamaica. 90 minutes of the game had passed, and we were down 1-0. I was ready for Berhalter to be gone from the moment they conceded that goal, to be honest with you. They did not look organized, they did not look unified, and they looked like they lacked passion for a majority of the match. But there's several things to talk about in today's video. Number one, some of this footage that's brought to you is brought to you by DeBronco. He was actually there in the stadium. Got a chance to go to the game. Shout out to him. He makes excellent football content. And one thing I noticed while watching his vlog is just how sparse the attendance was. If you look into the stands, you can see that there's not a whole lot of people in attendance at this match. And that's a problem for, in my opinion. A lot of people attribute it to the fact that CONCACAF decided to do a ticket bundle, and so this would happen. And also, I'm not sure who it would fall on. I mean, these dates are probably decided on months in advance. But this date did fall on a day when the Dallas Mavericks were playing, and in the city of Dallas, especially in this time of the season when the Mavericks are pushing hard for a playoff berth, and they're playing really exciting basketball right now. Yeah, of course you're going to have some split loyalties, especially in the city of Dallas. However, I don't think that that's as big a problem with the attendance here. I'm sure that played a little bit into it, but the attendance at this match was subpar, to say the least. It was sparse. Also, you can see the U.S. fans trying their best to like cheer their team on, and you can just see us giving it a chance. But we're just not as organized yet as we could be. I am anticipating that's going to be different at the World Cup. I'm anticipating that will be a difference at the World Cup, just because the sport does feel like it's growing over here. I don't think that a lot of people have become interested or curious about the sport. I don't think as much of us have fallen in love with it yet, to the point that it's going to be the dominant sport on our mind. Like I said, right now we're in the push to the end of the season in the NBA. You're going to have a lot of sports fans really wrapped up in the end of NBA season, and the beginning of baseball season is beginning. So I feel like it's becoming something that most Americans are at least interested in, and definitely there's not the same kind of hatred of the sport like we used to see over here. It's more, everybody's pretty open to, it's a pretty cool sport, something that they want to watch, but I don't expect to see Americans coming out in full force for the sport or falling in love with the sport until World Cup 26. When the World Cup happens in the United States and we have it right here in our backyard, and we see the world come here, and we actually have a chance to perhaps put out a good performance. If our men's team actually performs, this is another reason why I need Berhalter out like yesterday, and I need somebody competent in there to manage this team, because like Matthew McConaughey said, it's like if you want to further it as a music analogy, we've got all the notes correct, but we just don't have music. We've got all the notes, all the individual notes. We know what we're doing in playing the sport, but we don't have symphony yet.
Because if you know, what's the unsaid song and poetry of soccer that maybe we don't understand yet? Because we know the notes. We know every note to the great song. But notes on their own are not music. Notes put together are music. So we know the notes. I just don't think we have the poetry.
I think we don't have the right conductor. And so I think that a large part of that is due to the fact that we don't have the right conductor. Man, I need Berhalter out. I need somebody in there who knows how to coach on an international stage. I think Berhalter is a good club coach. I think he has potential to build a great system for a club. But the national team is not a club. And you've got players who play all across the world, who play at the top of their game in other leagues. You don't need a rigid system. You need something loose where the guys can all feel like they're playing and having a part and having fun, because you need them to be loose, playing with chemistry. You don't need them beaten into the ground because they have such a complex system or a rigid system that they're having to uphold. And so, yeah, I think I need Berhalter out, because when the World Cup shows up and we have a chance to show the world that we're actually here, like we're a part of this sport, that's when you'll see Americans fall in love with it. And if the men's team doesn't show out, I don't think you're going to see American fans actually become invested. I think that they need to see the men's team dominate something. And then I think you're going to start seeing people, little kids falling in love. I mean, kids are already falling in love with the sport, but you'll start to see some of those fans who are just kind of casuals, who just sort of like have an appreciation for the sport and the competition. And yeah, they want our team to win, but they don't really have any dog in the fight. The moment that we start dominating on a world stage, that's the moment you'll start having American fans come over and really become invested in it. That's just my opinion. But man, this game showed me once again, Berhalter needs to be gone. He needs to be out of there. I think that it's just he's had his chance. The system's too much. It's too overbearing for the players. You could see that in their lack of energy from the beginning of the match. They conceded so early into the game, and they were saved by an own goal. And they waited until extra time came around to actually start playing the kind of football that you expect to see them play. So I need him gone. I need him out of there. I don't need somebody who was hired because he has family connections. I need somebody in here. I'm ready. I don't know if it's possible, but I'd like to bring in a manager from Europe, or bring in a manager from somewhere else to come in and take over this team. Somebody who has experience with a national team. I'm just sick of what I'm seeing from the men's team with their effort levels. But anyway, these are some of the thoughts that I had coming out of this game. What did you think about it? Go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. I think it's time for America to move on to a new manager for the United States men's team, because it was kind of embarrassing. Now, we're going to turn up for Mexico. Whatever I said about this game I don't believe it will be true for Mexico. When the United States and Mexico play, it is a rivalry, and it is a fight to the end. So I don't expect to see something like this out of the final with Mexico. So be on the lookout for that game. I think that game's going to be pretty intense. That thing is going to be, yeah, that's going to be a game to watch for certain. So this one didn't make me feel better about where the U.S. men's team is. This actually made me feel worse about it. We need to get rid of our manager, and we need to do something to inspire our nation to attend the matches. Now, here I am sitting over here in New Orleans. I didn't attend, even though that's in my hometown. It would have been a 10-hour trip, so it would have been too much for me at this point to leave my work and everything to go on that trip to the game. But we need to get some support going on. That's a lot. That's a lot of rambling. If you're still here at the end of the video, you're the real MVP of this channel. Go ahead and smash like on the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 25,000 subscribers. At 25,000 subscribers, I'm going to be unveiling a merch store. So you guys go ahead and continue supporting the channel here, and we're we're going to keep growing. My goal is to be visiting games in Europe, going to games in London, going to games in Italy, going across the world and doing all this stuff, having podcasts with former players, current players, football historians. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do on this channel. So if you're here for that kind of content, please help me out by subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. It really would help me out, liking these videos and giving me some of that support, whether you're through a channel membership or not. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.